What's up, YouTube? It's your boy OG Drip, man. If you're new to the channel, go ahead and press that subscribe button. And today I want to give y'all a couple words of advice for your spiritual journey, or how we want to say words spelled backwards is sword. So I want to give y'all some offense or some defense, depending on how you use it, type of tactics today, because I want to tell y'all about how things was used against us, and I want to give you kind of like a concept of how like all religions and how all how all this stuff indoctrinate us, and basically of how deep it goes, how deep the rabbit hole goes. Because you already know, starting off, you know how the saying goes, once you lie, basically they say when you dig a hole, now you got to dig another one. So when we start talking about this and start getting deep, y'all gonna realize why they call it a rabbit hole and all, and you gonna see how many holes had to be digged, and they still is digging holes and lying about things today, but they just modified it and changing it and making it a little different. So when we think about how deep this goes, you have to understand everything has a evil side to it. Everything has a angelic side, or we're gonna look at it like demonic or angelic. So when we think about these things, the powers that be know what went wrong, but they knew that they knew about the truth, and this is the reason why when you hear people say Christians and churches and all that they're gonna be the first to burn or whatever. Listen, it's just a way of saying them the ones that knows what's going on, and they hide the secrecy to the world. So when we start digging on deeper how things really work, it's all about misleading people and misdirecting their body, which is twisting their life around. You know what I'm saying? Making their life a living hell when it really supposed to be their life supposed to be good. You get what I'm saying? Because everything was good. So it's like basically twisting a whole way of thinking around. And then the way you twist, the best way you twist somebody's way of thinking is you give them two things, and that both of them is the same but argue with each other. You get what I'm saying? So basically what they doing is taking the principle of correspondence and stuff like that. So for instance, if something is the or something is cold, they're different, but they're the same. They're different degree of how something feel. I mean, they different degrees, but at the same time, they both a temperature. So it's type of stuff like that. So instead of them saying that we're the gods and the goddesses and things like that, they want to take it and twist it around. So when it comes to indoctrinating people, the best way to do it is to start off by basically putting a head on something, so to give them something to look to. So when you come with everybody, that's the reason why you got so many different gods and stuff and junk like that. But these people, bro, they know astrology. So when it comes to fourth dimension and stuff like that, they understood how it worked, and this is where they was lost at. So this is where they want you to get lost at. All religions and things like that, I don't care what they is, at the end of the day, they're still weaning you, no matter how they look at it, to somebody else, to honor somebody else, and to worship somebody else when you should be worshiping yourself. Whether, no matter what religion it is, it gets deep. Even when they talked about Babylon with Zeus, and you got Egypt with Horus and so forth, bro. You know what I'm saying? It get deep, and I'm gonna do videos to y'all too, and breaking out each one of these gods, aka, you know, what's going on in the world, or what's going on with astrology, and explain what's going on in the sky. So we might have like some Zeus videos. We might have some Horus videos. I might have like basically explaining the morning star and explaining the star, like the Jesus with Virgin and Mary, the star correlation. So we're going to break down the understanding of that. But before you even get to understanding that, you have to understand that these people knew that. They knew all that, bro. You know what I'm saying? They control astrology and Scientology and stuff like that. So at the end of the day, yeah, you can learn astrology, and I'm not telling you to go learn from any astrologer, because they could get you lost and stuff like that, and especially when they're trying to have you follow the path that they took. Everybody, bro, as an individual, like when I said, when the universe, everybody has their own part to play, which is everybody has their universe. Everybody has their verse to play according to this music that is going on. So even when it comes to Scientology talking about the Big Bang Theory, they right, but they wrong. You get what I'm saying? Because, yeah, sound and frequency is everywhere, and it is how things is created. But beyond that, it's talking about the beginning of existence. They don't want to admit that, like, they don't want to admit about this. They don't want to admit that the sun and the moon alignments, they don't want to tell the truth about that. So it get deep. I'm going to break down a whole video about Scientology and stuff like that. But when it comes down to this, the Scientology people, they know At the end of the day, even when they be Scientologists, bro, and they'll be in other religions. So they'll be a Christian and they'll be a Scientology or and stuff like that. And as soon as things go to being sour, they run to Scientology because this is where they say they run the man at. You get what I'm saying? So I don't want y'all to get lost, because when we start looking for these gods to come save us, you're waiting for no reason. Your ass gonna be waiting forever, just like we waiting now. You get what I'm saying? It's not coming. You're the God that's supposed to be coming. When you make an uprise, that is when it's time. When all of us as a unit get ready to play our part and we start doing what is right and we start handling our duties and our damn responsibilities for the things we didn't do, that's when we'll be right. So we need to start taking responsibilities as people. Just like I'm going to tell you right now, when I first started YouTube, I was still looking at it. I was trying to look at me not being a creation, but then I was still making God basically out of what was going on. So then when I realized, I'm like, hold on, I get what's going on here. You guys is fooling somebody to thinking that they're not God, that somebody else is. No matter who the hell else it is. That's why you got different religions. And then even when the Satanists, they lost too, because when it comes to them, they thinking that Lucifer is their God. But regardless, it's just all talking about light and energy and how it was expressed and how it was powered. So when you think of Zeus and you think of the North Pole and you think of the North Star, that's what you need to think about as well. So like I said, I'll make a video breaking out all of that. But when these people found up and lined themselves up with this stuff, they went ahead and basically they said Addison Crowley, I'm going to just give y'all a newer one. Addison Crowley basically remixed everything and put it in his own way. He did, bro. He even remixed the word God of saying that a man was a God so he could make an oppressor to be able to oppress people. And the best way to doing that is to make everybody take use of their fourth house, which is making everybody comfortable and things like that. So then they'll be able to use their third house, which is the communication between each other and things like that. And they'll think that this is their second house, which is something they should value, which is the Bible and things like that. So then you get lost into an attachment, which is a creation, instead of you being a creator. So at the end of the day, you still follow a creation. You get what I'm saying? You still think you the creation. So we have to understand we are the creators. For example, if I wanted to make these pair of scissors, whoever made these pair of scissors was the creator of this. So he was the God of the scissors. He was the first person made scissors. So we have to understand when we see concepts of gods and stuff like that, some people are not trying to lose you. They're trying to tell you that that's what's going on in the astral realms. But we as people, we need a 3D figure to be able to see it here, so for it to be able to be like be able to make it manifest and stuff. We like to see a solid substance, because you know we 3D, so we like to see solids because we solid. So when it comes to thinking spiritually and stuff like that, all that's going to be a fact, because they're telling you this is the way of thinking spiritually, which is not the way of thinking spiritually, because this is not your spirit. This is somebody else's spirit, which is misguiding you. So when it get down to misguiding you and stuff like that, I like to say find your own path. Everybody started out different. Some people start off in a religion, and then they find out their religion was making a fool out of them regardless. That's just like in the Bible, bro. You know how, bro, that junk got, it talk about how to slave people. It say the blacks would be ugly, forever cursed with big lips, nappy hair, and things like that. So you have to realize sometimes when you read this stuff, who God is that? So the Bible would be the version of evil. I'm going to say evil spirits, because at the end of the day, like I said, I'm going to explain why I'm not racist. Why it's not good to be racist, and why it's good to look at it as an energy source. Because when you start looking at it as race, you looking at it as a man and stuff like that, and you start pointing fingers, and then that's when things get corrupting on us. Because now when you point fingers and be like, oh, white people the one brought the Bible, that's why they brought Jesus. Now you got to think about Yahshua and how he was brought up at. So they still trying to make you worship a man, bro. These are just all different, all different races trying to control you in a type of way and telling you to follow this person, and this person don't like what you about to do, and this person don't like what you about to do, bro, and you got to follow their path. So at the end of the day, it's misguiding you from the path of ascension, which is how you going to rise and how you going to go to the next realm of reality. You know what I mean? And don't get stuck and abducted and go there and coming back to this realm in reality. So when we start getting deep, it's going to go deep. So now we want to talk about the lies that been told. So now you want to talk about the rabbit holes and why they keep digging them. First of all, when you lie about one thing, you always have to cover up it with another lie, unless you want the truth to come out. And then when the truth come out, some people might not even take it and think you still lying. So now you done told so many lies, you like the little boy cried wolf. You don't know what to believe. So when it comes down to you believe this story, or do you believe this story, or that story, or that story, listen to the key words. It's all history. So it's all his story, which is the man that they were saying that we're going to look forward to and turn our backs on God, which is turn our backs on ourselves. We out here, we're more destructive over ourselves than anything. For example, I'm doing these videos and I'm talking to y'all as a spirit, and I'm giving y'all these videos that's coming from the spirit and stuff like that. So most people, and I'm telling you to love yourself. Love yourself before you try to love your neighbor, period. You know what I mean? And then you got church people that say self-worship and all this there is bad. Yeah, because y'all falling under another individual, even though you're saying you're not, because you're saying that, oh, no, that's their God, and this the right way to follow God, and nigga, you God. So when you following God, we have to understand who God is. God is whoever the nigga is that wrote this book or whatever the form is. Just like I said, I created these scissors. If I created these scissors, I'm the God of scissors. So if I'm talking about, if I make a book talking and I'm saying respect God, I'm telling people to respect me. You get what I'm saying? So we have to realize the authors of these books, they knew what they was doing, which is 72 scholars, and that's just how they broke it down. So when we think about even how deep it goes to, they make their own societies bump head because they're overturned by their own power. They don't want to be tossed aside. So that's why they're the powers that be. And hopefully this video could stay up because it's so real that I know that it might be a chance that, you know what I mean? They might be like, ah, darn, boy, that's too much sauce that man giving out right now. That's too much knowledge he giving out right now, because it's the truth. And you know you can feel it in your spirit how true it is. Because now that they done controlled you and told you this is what spiritual is, now you don't know what spiritual is. So now you lost as a spirit. You're a lost spirit. So even people that's in the churches and trying to throw the Bible at you and all this and that, they're lost spirits. So when it comes to saying a hidden agenda or being a secret agent, they're secret agents, whether they know it or not, especially when they find out the truth and they feel like that shit wrong, and they still go on to proceeding it, still go on to pushing it. So we have to understand, we have to ask ourselves, sometimes stuff just don't make sense. And the reason why it don't is because usually it's a bunch of lies that's covered up by a bunch of other ones. So when you wrote one book, you had to make another one to make that one a lie, had to write another one to make that one a lie, to make everything seem like it's a lie. So whoever follow up in it is following up in a wave of lies. It's like I want to say, since I'm OG Drip and I like to say ride the wave, it's like now you done been riding the wave and your butt done got on the wrong wave and got stuck in the whirlpool. So now you're getting pulled down in a downward spiral, so your ass done went left, so you done went the wrong direction from your spiritual path. All right, y'all ain't hearing me, boy. That's preaching for you, boy. That's the real thing. So as people, we got to realize, boy, sometimes you need to pay attention to how these same people that's making these words is the same people that's trying to double use the words to making you feel like they're not cuss words and making you feel like you could use it just at your ability and nothing coming from it. But really, when we dig in deep of how Aleister Crowley went back, this man twisted all the words of the shit that he's seen. So he's seen the truth. Like I said, that's why they're going to be the first to burn, because he knew the truth and then he went out there and preached the wrong shit on purpose. You get what I'm saying? Gave his shit to the wrong people for his people to have power because they didn't want the rulers, which is yourself, to be overthrown. Nobody supposed to rule over you. Nobody supposed to rule over you but you. The only thing rule over you is them planets and stuff like that that's inside of you, man. Bump that. You get what I'm saying? So when we start thinking about as below and as cells above, we need to really think that into existence. Just like you got cars and transportation here, you got transportation up there and stuff. You know what I'm saying? So if you're going from space to space to space and you're moving and you're sailing across space, that's called a spaceship. Just saying, bro. It's like we got to start understanding how things really work, and not just to say it, to actually make it work. You know what I'm saying? Just like you got planets above you and stars and stuff that you could literally go out and see, bro. That's what make you are or who you are. Your planets and star, your planet and star correlation that's inside of your body, or the times and stuff that you was born. That all is the same thing. So you is the below what's going on, which is the conscious mind, and the high and above will be the subconscious. Don't look at no high, most high, talking about some most high being a god, another god, because then your self-imagery is going to be somebody else. It's not going to be you. You know what I mean? You looking for somebody else and it's you. So all of this is, what I'm saying is, at the end of the day, y'all, everybody have their own spiritual path. You just have to find it inside of you without trying to force it and without being adopted by other people. So what I'm saying is, like, on the past message, when the dude tried to diss me or whatever, I said that you have to pay attention to the messages and not the messengers sometimes. So even if you look at me as a person that's not, you know, fit or if you look at me as an uneducated man, or however you look at me, just know that in the end of the day, I don't really give a fuck. Because I know spiritually I'm connected, and I get my answers, and I get things going on, and I'm so joyful in life, and I just love it so much because I am spiritual. So when you see me and you compare it to church people or rich people, like super rich people that, you know what I'm saying, they might not have it, they might look sad, that's because they lost in the spirit, man. So we have to understand how materialistic things, which is being the creations, and how we is the creators. So when we, that's it. That's the bottom line to it. It's nothing else. Because soon as you start thinking otherwise, like, okay, that's the God over. No, nigga, you wrong automatically. So all y'all that's continent and worldwide that watch my videos, I really love y'all, man. I appreciate y'all. And what I mean by love is I got love for humanity, regardless of the dumb and rash decisions some of us make. And I feel like it's coming, and it's nothing they could do about it now, and it's too late. Because now as I want to say it's like a light touching another light. It's like we all surrounded by darkness and abyss. So like in the Bible how it said it was basically darkness before the moon and the sun popped up. I like to see it just like that, bro. Just like above. So I just like to see certain things. Just like how I took that from a book. That's like a book that'll mess you up if you read the whole book. But if you take the message and you learn how to will the power for yourself, which is your will. You learn how to work your native will to making this power work for you. And it's not say successful, because some things might be successful. That don't mean that it was the right thing to do. You feel what I'm saying? So we're going to make sure it's the right way of going about it. So when anytime it comes down to how the elites beat us, I told y'all they use all 12 houses, and we could get deep of saying how they make your personal life, how they change your personal life, is they make you not realize the actual beauty inside yourself. You know what I mean? So now you have people that got don't take this no offense, ladies, or nothing like that. And I just want to show y'all a good example of what's going on. Like when people don't have their hair done and stuff like that, they say they ugly. Some of them don't even want to pick up the camera because they scared to look at the camera because they don't have their hair done. That is not the beauty inside of you. Them eyelashes, that hair, men too. It done got so bad now that men is trying to wear wigs. You know what I'm saying? It's horrible, y'all. It's horrible, man. Like, dang, bro, we got to put a stop to this, bro. You know what I'm saying? Because they interact and they killing your personal life, and then when things not right, they telling you, yeah, it is. It's right. It's right. Go ahead. Go along with that. Because you have to understand, as being a creators, a lot of things get real. Like when you see some people that's real gender, when they really on that gender stuff, it get deep because right now, I'm a true form of creation. Because I came from a male and I came from a female, although both have female and male principles, excuse me, inside of them, I still came from the one, which is being natural and not artificial creation. So now when we start thinking about sexes and shit like that, that's why some people real sketchy about it. Y'all want to get to the spiritual stuff because it's like you stopping the creation. You're trying to stop life. You're trying to stop the natural flow of what's supposed to go on, just like the elites. So you're following the agenda as well. So even if y'all don't want to go by that, it's still trying to get you. It's all out here to get you to subscribe to some retardedness. And it just get you lost. Just to have you out there and just study looking for something that's not meant to be found. One thing about it, if you're playing a game of hide and seek with God, that nigga winning because with nobody seen him. Everybody want to say he this shape, he that form. He come in all forms and all shapes. I bet so. Because everybody that wrote a book came in a different form, in a different shape, and came from a different race. I bet so. And I bet all the ones that told you what to do, which is the oppressors, told you that's what it was. And then told you somebody else was your oppressors. Made us our own enemies. So whether you feel like, oh, you religious or you're antichrist, they made you bump heads. Because they know at the end of the day, both of y'all wrong. Because you looking for Lucifer and you looking for Jesus or Yahshua. And y'all both wrong because y'all supposed to be looking for yourselves. So now it's clash and collision while they sit back and they know the secrecy. But if they lose that, now they're going to lose power of the world. People gonna be like, hold on, nigga. You got me. You making me walk way over here talking about something. Yo, we playing hide and go seek. And the person I'm playing hide and go seek with ain't even here. So, of course, I'm not going to find him. So you trying to tell me to find God, somebody that can't be found because as I'm looking for him, nigga, I'm him. So you're looking for yourself. You know what I'm saying? All us have to realize how important this is because everything is created. Like the stuff that you see right now is creation, whether it's a road, whether it's a pyramid, whether it's anything. Further to go way back before anything was made. People didn't have to use words back then because, bro, they didn't have They didn't have nobody trying to control them. So back then, when it came to using things that they will, bro, they was able to. It was easy. It was A1 because they just went against them. They was all looking for themselves and finding self paths, whether it's going in the woods, going through roughness, going through trials and tribulations, which make us. So I want to get on to your past. So when you're talking about your past and stuff, like I said, this title is gonna be like swords basically of ascension, because it's so much to get out to y'all. Because I want y'all to understand, and I'm not trying to redirect nobody nowhere. And as a spiritual leader, I'm just supposed to give you the information to be able to help you be able to grasp certain things and to be able to kind of control what's going on. So not saying follow me, you know what I'm saying? Subscribe, of course. You get what I'm saying, to get the information that I got going. But don't follow me as an individual. Follow yourself and find it in yourself, you know, what to do and when to do it and stuff like that. So even if it's wrong, don't judge yourself by it. Just know that it's wrong, and whatever you did wrong, just try to find a better way to dealing with it. I'm not saying, like, see, because words can be taken loosely. I'm not saying if you out there being a criminal, find a better way to being a criminal. No, but just find something to make you stop being a criminal, or find a different obstacle in life. Because we get stuck on trying to do things, and we want a different result, and we do the same thing over and over. Well, you got people fighting over and over racism and over gender and over everything, because at the end of the day, we don't have it in ourselves to break and think about it. Why is this so much of a disagreement? You know what I mean? So even when it comes down to that, that's why I said the gender thing is very important, because you're trying to stop the creation. So that is the main thing. You're trying to stop the creators from creating. So if you stop the creators, no more creations will be made. So it's like, man, at the end of the day, when you talk about the world and how it's ordered, you think about your life and the order of your life and how things work for you. So they really control the order. So if y'all know who Chronos is, it's like the keeper of time. So basically whoever controls time controls the world. So they learn astrology, but then they give us these clocks and stuff to throw us off, and to give us these months and these days to throw us off from what's really going on. So at the end of the day, when like I was going to say, when people, before they came out with words and things like that to understand what was going on, they looked up and they looked at each other, and then they looked at a personal life. They didn't care about, I'm not going to say they didn't care, but they didn't feed into getting lost into somebody else's tracks and spirits and stuff like that. So that's how you get the first ascendant ones, the first stars, you know what I mean? The first stars of the atmosphere. So when you think about the first ascendant ones, the ones that did ascend and that was able to try to piece things out, and like the ones that, like I explained how I get my information from, those are the ones that they had it all down packed. So those are the true Illuminati. Those are the true enlightened ones. So then when our stuff got stripped and stole from us and they remixed it and stuff like that, they remixed the hell out of it too. They had to keep remixing it. You know what I'm saying? They don't want to play the same song or the same verse over. So now they remix the ways of you living. So when we think about how can you do that, you just control the main things. You control what a person see. So you tell their vision something. So when it comes to television, that's where this word come from. So they telling your vision what you want to see in life. So you don't know what to do in life, bro, until they tell you as they say. But before all of this and stuff like that, that's why you got to understand all of it is the distraction to keep you from you. That's it. It ain't no keep you from getting this done and getting that done. No, it's just to keep you from you. And at the same time, these things exist here on this earth for you to still take into responsibility. So I'm not telling y'all, because I done seen people go natural, and they go out and they don't even know what natural is, because back then they lied to you. We had soap and stuff back then. We not stupid. You know what I mean? Like, we had things, it just wasn't made with the same ingredients y'all make it with. So when we start thinking about how we could be lost and how things, it get real deep, bro. So you have to be able to watch this whole video. I'm going to make a part 2, because I'm going to go ahead and cut it off there, because I just looked at the timer, and I know, like I said, people have responsibilities and things to do, and this is the reason why I say it's important, because if you think about the responsibilities and the duties that you have to do on earth, you better believe in heaven you got something you got to do. You got responsibilities and duties to do too. Instead of you having an injustice judge, though, you'll have a justified judge. But like I'm saying, basically what I'm saying is, bro, stop listening to them niggas that be talking that bull. That be sitting there talking about Illuminati this and Illuminati that don't want you to do this and do that. But at the end of the day, they can't even tell you why when it's right there. You know what I mean? Like, they can't even tell you why. Like, you sitting there, you would look at them, you like, dang, bro. People can't drop more than a 20-minute video. People can't explain why this and why that, like that, and how this all happened, and how this person was wrong and that person wrong. I just literally sat here and told y'all in less than 30 minutes how all religions got lost by following behind men, and why and where the word and where the phase come from, man against God come from, and things like that. So even if you is a Christian, you want to take that understanding to deep and things like that. I bet you at the end of the day, you ain't gonna want to be no Christian no more, or whatever you is, because now you're gonna want to figure out, you're gonna want to stand on yourself. You're gonna be out there, and whoever you are, that's who you're gonna be. You feel me? Because when it comes down to talking about who is Christians, yeah, the most racist group there is the Ku Klux Klan is Christians. And the Ku Klux Klan is Christians because they said the Bible told them to be racist against black people, because the Bible don't like black people. So when we start thinking about how all these books don't like each other, I don't care who wrote it, they're going to write it in their own way. They're going to try to black it out, make it all black people stuff, or they're going to white it out, make it all white people stuff, or whatever the race is. So we have to stop wondering and stop following behind them people that still keep coming back here, because they're going to still keep doing it, y'all. I know y'all like, what proof do you have that they coming back here? They're here, just like I am. I see what mistakes I made. You know what I'm saying? I see, like, dang. I was caught up and followed behind these motherfuckers just as well. You know what I mean? So I'm here to break the cycle, and I'm here to give y'all some swords of war, and I'm here to let y'all know that I love y'all, man. I appreciate everything y'all did for me, and I hope y'all watch this full video, because it's very important, because the life that I was living, y'all helped me change it, because now I see that not only the spiritual, you know, is a good thing to learn, it also could be a way of paying the bills as well. So, hey, bump what these niggas be talking about spiritual don't pay the bill. Yeah, it do. Yeah, it do. It just, these people try to make it differently. They know they ain't spiritual, and they trying to sell you some bullshit. You get what I'm saying? And it ain't right with me. And then they go around and they'll tell you you're not woke, and you're not consciously there, and they all off alignment themselves. So being that said, probably one of the longest videos I dropped for y'all. But that's just to show y'all how much I'm starting to love this and like this. And I just want to talk about something real quick. If y'all go back, I was talking about a video of a loophole, but I was explaining people how the times affect things, like 3 in the morning and stuff like that. 3 in the morning, if y'all guys have like manifestations and things like that, like, be careful, because when we manifest things, some times of the day is more at effect than any other time. And that's just like when moons and things is going on. So we got to watch what we thinking, and we don't want blood on our hands. So y'all be careful when y'all get into the spiritual stuff, because a lot of people ain't going to tell you. You're going to have all those weapons, but you don't want to fall on your own sword. You don't want to fall on you don't want to get shot by your own gun. So at the end of the day, you don't want to shoot, my back hurt. You don't want to hit yourself. You don't want nothing to reflect against you. So I think this is like the deepest it get, bro. So when it comes to these people, if y'all notice, a lot of these, I'm just going to go ahead and say it since it's like the end. A lot of YouTubers is taking, not a lot of these so-called spiritual leaders is taking people money and running away with it and things like that. And they're trying to do things because they know the truth, and they don't want to admit the truth, because some of them fall in love with power. So this is where you see ego at. So I made a video about ego, and that's another way of looking at it, power tripping. Because they did the same thing. They're evil because they're doing the same thing Allison Crowley did. Instead of them using the power to help others and things like that, they use the power against others, against their will, which is their 12 houses. So, y'all, dig deep, stay on your shit. Whatever in your spirit that you should worship. I mean, anytime they tell you you should worship something, and if you is in a church or a religion, I could give you can hit my Instagram at saucedrip135. And I can give you some questions to ask your pastor what he can't answer. You know what I mean? And to make you realize how quick you should get away from these things. Because like I said, at the end of the day, a Christian at the end of the day come from the Greek word, the word Cretan. So when you think about what Cretan is, it's like being a fool and being dumb. So we have to wake up to society. And y'all, when I say wake up, I'm talking about wake up. That means escape. the life that they trying to give you and go back to sleep as in jump in the life that you supposed to be living. So jump back into reality. Because like how they say escape the matrix is escaping reality or whatever. Nah, it's the opposite, bro. When you escape the matrix, you escaping reality. You're not jumping to reality. You're escaping reality. You running the opposite way. So when we think of the movie The Matrix, dog, dive into reality because this is what it is. And you control your reality, bro, to be able to control where you're gonna go in life. You can't control your reality and be controlled by others, you will fail. And I'm out, y'all. OG Drip.